he's not gonna listen, so he'll be part of the video. But how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I guess so we've already done one take, and the memory was too full. So here we are, round two. So I figure we'll just continue. I mean,
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. Before we get started, though, just making sure you know about confidentiality, which you know means that if you talk about abuse or potential harm to someone else or another, then I might be in a position where I do have to break confidentiality. So, Blitz, come here. Come on. Come on. Blitz, come on. Good boy. Alright, so, what's going on? Lay. Alright.
I guess I got a lot of stuff going on. I can talk about anything?
Anything. Bring it to the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I interviewed for a new job. What is it? 2 weeks ago. Almost 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, and I got an offer letter.
Really?
Last week.
Which job?
It's a new job. It's for as an analyst for a government agency. It's the first time I've really had a real offer letter in my life where, hey, this is, it's a big deal, not like when you go to McDonald's or something or go interview oh, you're hired.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was interviewed by 4 people in a row on the same day. It took hours.
Were you nervous?
At first a little bit, and then they said, hey, we'll get back to you, and I waited the whole last week, and I was looking at my emails, and it was an offer letter. I'd never seen one of those really an offer letter,
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled it open and read through it, and I was like, wow, this is really good, wow, life-changing job here, a career. So I went ahead and signed it and sent it back last Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I guess pretty much I got the job. I had to sign it by last Friday. I signed it and sent it off. It's just a little bit stressful though because I do a lot of things right now. I had started teaching last year for one of the colleges. I really like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a part-time job. It's only about 20 hours a week. There is about a week in this month where it'll go to 40 plus hours, but then the remainder, the other 3 weeks of the month, it's about 20 hours.
Okay.
Now when I say part-time, it's not low wage. It's a very significant amount of money that somebody would work full-time, making a lot of money, but I'm going to do it in 20 hours.
Okay.
But it's going to mean that in the spring, when I start teaching, I may have to let go of my teaching if I want to stay with this other career move. And I've been teaching for almost 2 years, so it's that's what I'm used to. I work a little bit, have off most days, and so this is a big change if I do this. And there's a lot of things coming up in the spring, some special classes I was going to teach, just some pilot stuff at the college, and I was involved with that and getting these courses together. It's a first-time course, and depending on how the schedule is, I may have to let that go, and I don't know how the people are going to react, or if I tell them, hey, I still want to teach maybe one class a week or at night or something. I'm not sure if they're going to say, hey, we're just not going to use you. I don't want them to be upset. So I really don't know what to do. It's
You seem stressed out.
yeah, a little bit. I had other stuff that I was worried about last couple weeks been going on in my life a lot recently, last 6 months or so, or a year, and all of a sudden this is just a new thing that just popped up. that I really don't know what to do. And I also, I work for the NBA. I work for the San Antonio Spurs. I do security for the players and their families. Wow. And so that's another thing I may have to change up too, because if I'm working and I can't get over there, I may have to let a lot of things go in order to go with this move to this career. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's like I just keep playing in my head over and over, like, okay, because I don't know. I guess right now I'm stressed out because I don't know what the schedule is. They said, you let us know your availability, how you're going to work, what hours you're going to work, and then we'll see how that fits into the schedule. I think there's 4 other analysts, or 4 total, and I don't know any of these people. I interviewed some of the lead analysts. I met with them and interviewed with them, and obviously they like me because they went ahead and brought me on. But as far as like the people that are working, I don't know anybody. They probably have all their schedules set already, where they work a certain way. I just don't know. So I'm just like, it's like I'm waiting. Like, hopefully like tomorrow I'll hear something, but it's like each day it's like just waiting. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that, because all these things I just told you, like the different jobs I have. And I do something else too. I volunteer with the fire department. So that's, and it seems like a lot, but each of these things is only, like maybe 10, 15 hours each.
That's what I was going to say. It seems like you're juggling a lot. I'm
juggling teaching, fire department, MBA, and then now this new gig, plus family. And it equals up to about 40 hours a week, like somebody would work full time. But it is like a lot, because it does seem like what happens is when I'm not at one place, I'm somewhere else, and I've just never seemed to be at home. It's like I'm just always somewhere else besides home or doing what I want to do. So that's the only thing I can think about where, this job will take place financially of everything and more with just one. So, I don't know if, what if I let these go and then this doesn't work out and now I don't have any of that?
What would happen if it didn't work out and you didn't have any of that?
I guess, I'd have to go look for something else, but I don't want to think about, oh shoot, what am I going to do for income?
So it sounds like, okay, you're juggling a lot of stuff.
A lot.
And you're stressed out. You've got, 5 jobs right now?
Fire department, teaching, San Antonio Spurs, count family as kind of a job.
Are you taking care of family?
Yeah, I do take care of people sometimes.
Okay.
So that's 4 things.
4 things you're juggling, and then the master's program, is it?
No. I'm done with my school. It's just I'm teaching.
Oh,
but that's a lot of work. It's not just the 4 hours I'm teaching a week. It's grading papers, getting lesson plans ready, tutoring. I think I'm working more than 40 hours a week right now with all these different jobs.
I was gonna ask that. Does it really add up to 40, or is it more when you consider?
Probably more.
Yeah. That's what
maybe
it
like
sounds
50.
Okay. So, right now you have all of these jobs. If you lose one, maybe that's not so bad because you have 3 others.
Yeah, right? I know that I don't want to lose the fire department because I like doing that. I don't get paid, but it's something I like that I don't want to let go of. Then I have between the other 2. I really like working for the Spurs. It's not just working for them, and it's a great place to work, but it's the networking and connections that I've made working there with some of the people that go there to see the games. There are people that own businesses and just different role models in the community that I've networked with already and have plans like I have that, knowing that person. I fear like if I'm not there anymore, and I need to call on that person later, like, oh, who are you? But I don't know. And then, of course, the teaching, you know, I like doing that. I think maybe, I don't know if it's just, I'm thinking more about change, and the financial part is not there. Like I said, between the jobs that I'm getting paid for, I'll make more money with this career move than both of those combined plus, you know. So I could let go of everything still and make more money than I am now with just this one, but then I'm gonna have to let go of a couple things I love doing.
Okay, so on one hand, you have multiple jobs. You have your current lifestyle, where there's a sense of security um, with having so many jobs.
I guess it's like, you know, you have jobs and you hate them.
Sure.
This is the first time in my life that everything I'm doing is good. Like I like them. I enjoy. I don't feel like I'm going to work like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. It's like, you know, maybe at the end of a semester, you're like, okay, I'm getting burned out. I need a break. You know, you know, you're teaching a lot, but
So you like what you do?
yeah, it's hard to move, to think of moving to something I don't know anything about.
Gotcha.
And I hope I like that. What if I don't? And I may have to let go of things I like, and then what if I can't get those back? So.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a risk. So it seems like. So correct me if I'm wrong, but there has to be some sort of interest in this job. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something drawing you to that job, but then there's also things that are making you hesitant about taking that job. And it seems like you're torn.
It was kind of I went to a job fair, and you know, I go to the little booths. I don't know if you've been to a job fair. There's booths set up, and I was about to leave, and I saw this one booth, and someone was like, "Hey, you know, how are you doing?" I was like, "I don't even know what this place is. It's some off the wall, whatever place." I start talking to the person. I'm like, they're telling me about this job, and you know, I was like, man, I already do that stuff kind of like on my own. With it's like a lot of Excel, spreadsheet, Microsoft Word kind of database stuff with, you know, tracking financials, and I do that already. I know how to like. I'm a nerd with Excel. Like I know how to go in there and make all the formulas, and you know, you click on one cell and it does all these other things, and that's pretty much what this job is. And
Well, now you got me interested. What is this job?
It's a government contracted agency. It's a contracted agency for the federal government that does analysis on like your high-end federal agencies like CIA, NSA, FBI, with their like all their billing, and they have certain regulations for how they spend money, and you get all these statements and bills and everything. You have to match it up with what the regulation is. You know, if they're trying to get, somebody's trying to pay too much for something or too little, or maybe it's something that's supposed to be 10 grand and they charging 12,000. Well, you gotta figure out, well, what's going on? Why is it 2,000 more than what the contract was? And so you have to do all that. You have to track these things, and you're either proving authority for yes or no. It's a pretty big deal, you know. And it's a very significant amount of income for what this is. I didn't think I was gonna. I mean, it's something I never thought I'd be doing, and stumbled into it. And actually, the tracking forms and the things that I've created already for personal use, it's something I like doing also. It's just kind of nerdy, but it's fun for me. And this place, I showed them kind of the work that I've done. They're like, oh my God, that's like more advanced than the people that work here, like what they're doing, that we've taught them, and you're doing it already. I was like, okay, so I kind of sold them what I showed them, you know, different products I've made, and they're asking me like, what do you use this for? I'm like, well, it's just for fun, my own personal stuff, you know, just to see how far I can go with it. So It's fun. I know it sounds kind of like boring, but
No, that doesn't sound boring at all. It sounds like you live an exciting life, to be quite honest. From what you've told me about last time we met, you were in the military, and it sounds like you've worked in quite a few exciting jobs. You currently have quite a few exciting gigs, and then you have this exciting opportunity.
the only thing I have, and it's true, the only thing I have that's a little bit of my advantage is, and I was stressed out before about this too, is I teach, spring semester, fall semester, summer, and usually I get at least 9 hours, and I'm okay if I teach 9 hours. It's decent cash, income. For the spring, they weren't able to get me. So the semester ends December 16th. Usually about the third week of January, school's going to start again, and you start getting a paycheck already by 1st of February. They weren't able to get me any classes because enrollment's always down in spring. So my first paycheck from this college wouldn't be till April 1st because I'm only teaching Flex 2 the second half of the semester. So this all kind of came in. They're like, this is within the last 2 weeks. And they're like, hey, can you start on the 4th of December training? I'm like, well, I teach till the 16th. They're like, that's okay, we'll work around that. It's just a little couple hours here and there. But it's kind of a little bit of a buffer. Like, if I do this for a couple months, January, February, and it just doesn't work out, then I'll be starting up school again in March. So the income really won't skip a beat. It's just, it's actually good that I wasn't starting in January. So it's not like I don't have to tell the school like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I kind of got a little bit of a buffer zone.
You use that word buffer. It's interesting to me. It sounds like having that buffer is something that you enjoy having. It also sounds like if you took this other job, you may not have that buffer. Okay. What's it like for you to think about that? To think about not having a buffer?
Oh, I don't like that. That makes it worse for me. It's like I always have to have a backup plan for a backup plan, and sometimes it just drives me crazy. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that, and well, okay, I got this whole day of 10 hours. I'm gonna break this up and doing this, do that. It's difficult, especially like trying to do like traveling, and it seems honestly it's like I don't have enough personal time. Like I don't, and I don't know if that's something else that just kind of stresses me out. But it's just like I'm always doing something. Like I just want to sleep in for like a week and not do shit. Like I just want to like not do anything for a week.
And what would...
Every time I get a chance where I'm gonna be able to not do anything for like a day or two, it's like I have to end up doing something. It's like, damn it, like I just can't catch a break to myself, It's like even this, like the end of the semester is coming up, and I was gonna be like, okay, I have time, to just kind of chill a little bit. It's gonna be like Christmas time,
Sure.
And in this job, it's like, oh, it's awesome, but training starts on the 4th. I'm gonna start working. Probably not gonna have any time off again. It's just like over and over. Like I just don't get that break.
Sounds like that's a source of stress too, not having enough personal time.
A little bit. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. And some of the stuff I do doesn't even make a lot of money. I've even sat there and pondered like, man, why am I doing this? Well, it's fun. Like, man, I'm not really making that much money when I'm doing. But I like doing it. I don't know. It's very hard for me to say, oh, I'm just not going to do this anymore. Like, maybe like you said, the buffer, like I need that just in case scenario. Like I don't want to let go of all the part-time work that I do because maybe I'm going to need that later. So I need to just maintain, So I didn't mean to be looking at my watch. I know we only
No,
got like
you're
30.
you're fine.
I know we only got like 30 minutes.
We have half an hour. Let me check on the time for a moment, but yeah, no rush. I mean, wow. Um, so you're obviously stressed out. There's a lot going on, and I also I want to say that I can see the difficulty that you have looking at this new job when having these buffer jobs, I guess we could call them, is so important to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's stressful. What exactly do you want? Well, ideally, what would you want?
I don't know. It's almost like I do all this stuff because, like, I was in the military,
Mm-hmm.
so I had like, you know, it's like I had an important role. You know, I had moved up in rank and I was in charge of a lot of things and personnel, and it was like when I left that, it was like all of a sudden nothing, and then slowly I built up, like, you know, the places I'm at, it's like I'm important, like what I do, you know, and it fills, to me, it like fills that gap of, I can't, it's like it's almost like I'm looking for the one career again, job, career, whatever you call it, that'll fulfill everything I used to do, but all in one, be happy and not have to do all this other crap. It's really hard.
Okay.
And then that will, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, that'll allow me to, you know, just work a regular day and be off on the weekend and take off work and go on vacations and not have to worry about, well, like, have these other things all going on.
So
But
now,
I'm sorry, it's gonna, but it's like knowing if I'm gonna get to that point with this new job, like, am I gonna be happy? Am I gonna get to the point where, okay, I'm good again? And then I can finally, okay, I'm gonna let go of all this other stuff. But it just seems like, I don't know, like, how long that's gonna take. That's the part that's like, the unknown, you know?
sure. So it sounds like a risk moving from your current lifestyle to a new one. Have you weighed out pros and cons and assessed the risk?
I have, but whenever I try to do pros and cons, it always ends up being a real biased list. Because, you know, if I have one pro, I try to make a con to even it out, and it's like you can go forever. There's always another con you can add to even out the pro. You know, it's like I've tried doing a separate list, but it's like after you make one list, you already know how much is on the other list, and you're gonna try to even it, and you're like square one. You know, so. I don't like pros and con lists.
Okay, so no pro and con list.
Yeah,
Got you. But I did hear you say that you want a job that'll allow you a normal schedule.
Yes.
You want a job that will make you feel important. Kind of like your job back in the military.
Not like I have an ego or something. It's just,
Sure.
you know, you want to. If it's like you have a lot of experience, a lot of school education, you want to be able to use that. And if, like you're counseling, if you couldn't do this anymore, and you're going to work at McDonald's or a grocery store doing cashier job, I mean, it would be like a waste of your skill, you know, because you're good. So it's like, how do you find that, you know, where if somebody told you how to switch jobs similar to what you're doing now, that would be difficult, you know? So, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's been like I've been on a quest since I got out, and I just don't realize that's what I'm doing. It's trying to find that evenness. I don't know, I never thought about that until right now.
Evenness.
Like, it's like I fell off a cliff or something, and I'm trying to get back up to where I was and keep going at that same level. and all these little things are like the steps trying to get back up to that, but it's like they don't always follow through, so it's like I keep falling back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's pretty cool. I never thought about that too.
Are you saying since the military?
Uh-huh.
So, leaving the military was falling off for you, and you've been working your way back up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished school and I got out, got my master's. I don't know, maybe I'm just taking the wrong approach.
What do you mean?
Maybe I'm just taking whatever to try to get up to that level, but I need to take something that's actually going to get me up to that level. Instead of messing around with these other ways to get there that are just not really going to get there.
I'm trying to understand what exactly you're going through, because that, to be honest, that kind of, I mean, to hear somebody say I fell off and I'm trying to find my way back up, that honestly, to be truthful, it makes me feel really sad.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I joined the Army when I was 17 years old. And I did that for 17 years. I had to get out a little 3 years early, but that's a long time, 17 years, and then to go from one day to the next, like, you're done. Everything you knew, everything you did is like, you're done.
So from 17 until
34.
34, so 17 years in the service.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a life.
And yeah, I mean, just imagine leaving high school and going straight to that. For like almost your whole life,
You miss the military.
I do, a lot.
What
Especially I see like stuff on TV, war and people getting hurt. It's like, oh fuck, man, I should be there right now.
What keeps you from joining again?
Well, I got out. I had gotten messed up a little bit in Iraq, my last tour, and so I had medically discharged.
Would you mind telling me more about that?
I got hit in the head, and when they did a scan and stuff, they found a tumor growing in my head. It's kind of like if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have known about this other issue. And then he said, hey, you can't stay in with that, we just, not that you're dying or anything's wrong, they said, it's not cancer, nothing's bad, but it has a little bit of effects on my vision and stuff, and they just don't want to take a chance with what I was doing. So, and my job was, I need my vision for what I was doing for a job, so they're just like, hey, you're out, here's your retirement, you get benefits. It's not, the money's kind of okay, it's almost the same, but you still have to go from you're doing this to you're not doing this anymore. It's almost like getting a divorce or something for your family, or losing all your family. Because imagine being with your 17 years doing something and then you're not doing that anymore. It's just, I don't think regular people realize. Maybe people that have like long jobs for a long time, but I don't think most people have jobs for a long time. I think they're here and there, school, different jobs. It's not, that's a commitment. It's like a marriage.
Sure.
Or being like a job a long time. So, yeah, it's like, you have a little transition time where like, I'm going to get something else. Everybody's like, oh, you're getting out, you're going to find a civilian job, it's going to match it, you're going to make great money and have a great career. That doesn't happen. I mean, maybe for some people, but everybody I know, you got these military job fairs and everybody's been out a couple of years and they're like, can't find a job. It sucks, So.
What was that like for you? After 17 years, and then having to make a change.
It's real stressful. Financially, it's stressful because at first all your stuff is screwed up. You know, your pay goes from this much to cutting it in half. And from 1 month to the next, your pay's cut in half because your retirement's half. So then between that and try to search for a job, it's like, I don't know, you just feel kind of like you got, like, screw you, see you later, nice to know you. Like, there's just really, they speak about transition, but there really isn't. It's kind of like, if transition is, hey, you're getting out. It's just not like, you know, it's just not there.
It sounds like you had a really personal tie to your profession, to your occupation in the military. So personal, it was almost, I want to say it was almost like, you know, a relationship, a family, and being separated from family.
It was like, I know this might, I don't know if this sounds sick, but I like being in war. That was my business, you know, since 9/11 till 2012, you know, that's 12 years of war, getting deployed, being in war, making decisions. I just miss being in war. That sounds horrible, but like being deployed, because you're just like making stuff happen, you know? Like I worked in the intel world, I could look at threats coming in and be like, okay, we gotta do this, this, and this, you know, save these people's lives.
Sure.
And it worked. It always was awesome. It was working. You know, I developed like huge like software, like database programs that saved lives in country, in Iraq. That even like it got adapted to like the whole military over there. Like they used it, even after I left, like, oh yeah, they used that. Like, oh my god, you know. You don't get credit for that shit, you know, it's like,
Wow.
you still get the same pay, you know, you have a rank, you get paid by rank, it's not like you get a bonus but it was fulfilling, you know, like, this stuff's working, you know, people are not dying, so it's, to go from that to nothing, and then I left and it was like, it wasn't like, I left with my unit, you know, I left before, they were still there. And then I went to the hospital. And then I never saw those people again.
Sure.
Because you go from a unit to the hospital. And you're there with a bunch of people that blown up, missing legs, tumors, whatever the hell medical stuff's going on. You're just there with this medical hold place where you're just like getting ready to, either they're gonna let you stay in or they'll let you get out, make you get out. And it sucks. It's like, damn, and then they finally tell you, hey, you're gonna get out, 6 months to a year, you'll be out. So you're just like, and you're just like thinking like, okay, what am I gonna do? But you can't really make any plans because you're still in. And then you finally, you're gonna get out, you get like a month, and then you're done. And then you're like, oh shit.
So, in a similar way, that you went through a stressful transition in the past, you're kind of going through a stressful transition right now too.
Yeah.
Having to make some decisions as well.
And I could get back to that level with this new move, but it's been so hard to get to where I'm at with these other roles that I am in now, that I'm worried that in order to be able to do this, like scheduling and how they want me to work, I'm gonna have to tell these other roles that, hey, I can't do this anymore.
And you don't want to let that go.
I really don't. But I know that if this goes well, then I will be okay letting it go. But it's like, I need assurance. I need to make sure, like, hey, this is gonna be okay. Because, like, stability, financial.